In today's video, I want to look a little bit into what it actually means to have self-worth, especially while dating. And I want to give you a little bit of insight on one of my clients I had in this morning, and I actually have asked him if it's okay to share. And so I want to share this because there are many people who are actually doing this, and I can raise my hand. I have done it too. So this is not on any way to judge you. It is about to raise your awareness so that you're not making those kind of things over and over again. Because let's be real, you deserve to be happy, and you deserve to find the love that you're really looking for. Yet sometimes it's actually really hard to even look out for love if we don't really know how love really feels. How do you want to know how love can look like if you have never experienced it? Now, if you have been following me, I haven't come from a family where love has been shared and I had a lot of hugs in my childhood and all of that. I never really had that, right? So personally, I had a lot of distant relationships where people were emotionally unavailable. And I can raise my hand here. I have been emotionally unavailable too, because I wasn't opening up myself. And I remember times when I really felt, no, I'm really open, right? Yeah, I wasn't really, I really wasn't. So I can see that now. And I want to dive a little bit into this topic today, if you don't mind. My name is Patricia. I'm a life coach, and this is what we do, right? We help you to spot in your life the things that are not really going well, that need your attention, that need your support further. And it's not just about something is wrong. No, it's about you are the creator of your life. Now, if you want to create, if you want to have this happy life, and I really mean from deep within the satisfaction, right? If you want that, you have to look at your life. You have to be aware of what you are creating. And this is the way how to do it. At least, listen, this is what I have been exploring. This is what I have given out to my clients so many times, and it has actually worked. Change is visible. And so I'm not giving you things that I think nice to have. I'm doing this because I know it works. I'm giving this to you because I know that you can do it, right? And all you need is the right tools. That's it. Like, that's it. Is it always easy? No. Right? No. And I'm not claiming that at all. But there is a way. There is a better way on how you can do life. You don't have to suffer all the time. Okay, with this said, let's really dive into today's video. So, he is someone who was really used to work and kind of perform for the partner. He used to do things to prove himself and to show that he is worthy, right? He's worthy to receive love. Now, this goes back into the earlier days, into your childhood, on how you have received love. Or maybe, like him, not really. What you have received is attention when you have done something right, when you have received from the school that right grand note? Mark? Is it mark? I don't know. Just like a positive feedback from school. You got like a, or you did something, I don't know, a nice drawing or whatsoever, and you got some attention. You may have gotten some kind of pleasurement you know? Now, nothing of that is really love, you see? But this is how you have learned to receive that. And the reason why you have done that is because this is a human need. And so it's not your fault that you were craving for love. This is very, very basic, okay? This is very, very deep, okay? So feel into this. When we are looking out for love on that level, we may have never received it. Now, this is really hard to hear because we think that our caregivers, our parents, the people who looked at you or for you, they were there for you. And so it's very hard to acknowledge that it hasn't really met what you needed, right? It's really hard. It's really, really hard. So feel into this, because that is something where a baby or a really small child actually should never work for. This isn't about performing. This isn't about I need to show up a certain way, I need to be a certain way. This isn't about to pleasure or give some pleasure to the parent, because the parent itself should already be available or ready to actually use their own emotions or actually be able to regulate them. But you see, most adults I look around right now, they're not able to regulate their emotions. And so when I go 20 years plus from me or 30 years plus, they don't have that awareness that the way how they show up in the world is not in their best interest. They don't see that. They don't recognize that, because back then they just didn't have the time to look into this. And this is now what we see, right? All people are craving for love. It's like this extreme, intense love that was missing. Now, if you can feel that, because I have felt that, right? I really, really did. And you see, I remember when I was like 20 years old, and I got to see some elderly woman, and she was full of love, you know, and this kind of nourishing and just wanting you well, wanting you to feel good. And when I was 20, it felt so awkward. I was like, I don't really know how to deal with that. I don't know how to receive that. I don't know how this actually, I mean, it's kind of making me like, ugh. Like, felt like some bitter juice kind of thing, like, ugh. So in my mind, I was thinking that that's not the right thing, right? Because else my body wouldn't react that way. That was my idea. I didn't realize that I acted that way because I have never felt that. I have never received that. Just an unconditional love. Like, you know, I didn't have to do anything. That felt wrong. That felt somehow weird. That didn't feel good. I was like, what is that all about? Like, Like, don't come too close, right? It was weird. So back to the story of my friend and of my client. And so he was always trying to show his worth, show how much he can do for his partner. And today I asked him, what do you think is your attention behind that? What do you think you have to show that person? What is it that you want this other person to recognize while doing this? And you really have to ask yourself this question because it goes really deep, right? It's quite a deep question where you're like, why am I doing that? And not in a shaming or guilting or anything like that, but just observe, right? Like a bird watching from the outside, watching what are you doing? Why are you creating a life like this? What is going on, like deeply? And you may start to cry because it gets overwhelming. Because when you start to see the truth from a different angle, right? It may have been very, very hard for you. You see, because it is a human need. And if you have never received that, how would you know how real love actually looks like? And you may not be able to create that within yourself. So you have to learn to create this within. You have to learn to step up for yourself, to say no to things, to really try the best version that you can be. And there's a lot of adjustments required, right? There is a lot of inner conflicts going on that you need to look at. And hey, I'm here for you. If you are ready to work on this, then come and join me. You see, let's have a look in a one-on-one on how I can support and help and guide you, right? This is really about looking closer into your life and seeing what is going on. So he was then saying something like, it was about the party, and the partner was kind of saying that, you know, they don't want to partner up anymore and needs more space, and, you know, kind of only sees the friendship and not really a romantic kind of partnership. So what my client was kind of facing was the rejection, right? And then in his mind, he was like, this is great because now I can show him on this party. I can show my partner that I am really worthy, right? Because if I'm showing up and I'm super happy and I'm all kind of, you know, I'm not making this kind of hard, I kind of play it over and who cares, and, you know, I kind of play like nothing happened. You're even betraying yourself. That is the top of the top of the top. So not only did that partner reject you, or maybe it's not even a rejection, because let's be real, that person knew in the beginning that it's not going to work. And you see, when you start to notice those kind of things, you don't have to try all the time over and over again. Believe them in front. Believe them up front that they are not ready, that they are not interested in that, because it's not going to change, you see. Unless you see a dramatic change in their behavior. But generally speaking, use their words as that's just it, right? And then you're going to see in the action as well, how are the actions? Because if they also don't show anything, you see, you have to take what you have. So you don't need to make and create a story that something is going to happen because that person sees how great and how awesome you are. Really, they're not going to see it because they don't look for what you have to offer, else they would have seen it already, right? It's very, very, it's really deeply rooted from our past that this pain is actually showing up. and you need to take it as a help, as a support, because it is ultimately supporting you. It is supporting you to stand your ground, and it is supporting you to eventually find that love, so that you can actually feel this from within. And because you feel it from within, you start to also recognize, and that's the most important. I believe that there are sometimes the self-love is a bit weird spoken about. The thing is, why you create self-love is actually so that you recognize when someone who is showing you true love, you can recognize that energy. See, if you have no idea how that feels like, how do you want to feel it? How do you want to sense it? You will walk past a person just because you don't see it. You don't know. And this may be a try and error fast, I don't know. You see? But if you cannot feel it, if you cannot sense it, then you are only going to look out for what you know. And if you're looking out for what you know, well, you're attracting the same person over and over again, because you don't know how that feels, right? Listen, guys, I hope this video has helped you. One more time, if you are looking for someone to work with on a one-on-one basis, there was actually one friend, and he said, well, why don't you start to work with people on like 1 week basis? And you know, it's kind of funny because I never really thought about it, but it makes sense, you know, if someone has a kind of vacation and only has time in that 1 week, why not? If you want to do something for yourself, if you want to start to create your life differently, and if you're ready to work with me and to see where this goes, you know, I started to be way more open towards flexibility when it comes down to how the package is going to look like. Because there is not always a 3 months or a 6 months package needed. Sometimes you just need a few times and then you're good to go, because it takes you another half a year to fully integrate all of that, and so you don't need me in that time, and then you show up again. You see, sometimes that's kind of cool too, if you have that. So if you do want to do that, I'm not offering this at this moment, so this is only on YouTube as an offer. What you can do at this moment is do book a discovery call and write something in the coupon code from YouTube. Just write YouTube, and then I will know that you heard me saying about this, because it's important that I know where you're coming from and what is it that you're looking for, so I can actually give you that offer. And I actually only want to offer this to people who are really looking to be more in their truth and be more who they are. And so, you know, if this helps you and if this supports you, I'm more than in. If you haven't subscribed until now, please do. It helps my channel, it helps this community, it helps to raise awareness towards to your happiness. And I think we need more people who are happy, who are showing off, who, and in a good way, not showing off from the ego, in a good way. Yeah, with this said, thank you so much for being here, and I say goodbye. Bye-bye.